I am Shateenah Barnes. I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. I was going to a church in Philadelphia, and a girl that I knew at that church moved here to Ohio to go to OSU Law School, and she knew that I was going to be looking for a church, and she told me about the church. I met Dr. Hines pretty early on when I started coming to Sanctuary. We just met in church one day, and she was very intentional about developing a friendship with me. So we just grew a friendship, and I wanted to get a little bit deeper into what she was offering the church through her spiritual direction course. I think the first few sessions were just kind of talking about what was going on in my life at the time. She was asking details about different areas of my life and how I spent time with God, and if I journaled or how often I prayed and if I heard the voice of the Lord. I'm pretty transparent about all that kind of stuff, so it was easy just to have the conversation with her. Dr. Hines really challenged me a lot to think about how I am intentionally spending my time with God. I've been intentional about my time with Jesus, but it's just been more intentional and more deep after talking about it with her, and how much time I really am devoting to just being quiet and listening to God, and listening for His voice and learning how to discern better. I think that has been a big challenge that she's offered to me and that I took. That's been really valuable. Just seeing my thoughts out in black and white and seeing where I'm at and what I'm praying for and how God is showing up or not showing up yet, or how He's working on me in different ways as the weeks go by has been really helpful. If anything, it's definitely shown me that God is always paying attention, even if I feel like things aren't going my way or they're not going the right way. It helps me to kind of follow along with the journey with Him, and yeah, it's been motivating and good. So this year I'm focusing more on obedience than I have ever before. I really want to experience the treasures of joy that's promised in being obedient to God and His teachings and Jesus' teachings. So I know Dr. Hines is going to be very excited to hear that and ready to challenge me to go deeper into that. And so I'm looking forward to what fruit that brings. So if I was talking to someone who was interested in spiritual direction, I would tell them to just jump right in and don't be nervous or scared, and be transparent and vulnerable and see what happens, because magical things happen when two people who believe in Christ come together and talk about spiritual things. You learn so much about yourself and so much more about God, and it's just a really valuable experience. So I would say just jump right in.